So this infographic on which dictator killed the most people, it's a bit morbid, but there's some pretty cool statistics that we can do with it. So I've taken the information from this picture and I have typed it out in this spreadsheet. So I have first name, middle name, surname, country, the start date of their reign, the end date, and their kills. Firstly, I'm going to click in any part of the data area and do Control A. That'll highlight that area. I'm going to put borders around everything. I'm going to tell you the shortcut keys and where to click. Push Alt, you'll notice letters pop up. So I'm going to choose H for home. And then borders, B. I'm going to push B. And then I want all borders. So again, you could use the mouse, but I'm going to use A. So that's put in borders. I'm going to change the width, so I clicked on A and moved the mouse all the way across. I'm going to double click on a space between two of the column handles, and that's automatically fitting the width of the columns to the contents. I'm going to do Control A again, and I'm going to put in an auto filter. Alt A for data, T for filter. And you'll notice every header has down arrows, which I can filter. Partway through writing down the number of kills, I switched to writing 1.6 instead of 1.6 million. So I'm going to show you a little trick. I'm going to type 1 million over here, get the right number of zeros, count them out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to copy that, Control C. I'm now going to click and I'm going to highlight all of this. I can either use the mouse or I hold down Control and Shift and down, and then that will highlight everything to the bottom or to the first gap. And I'm going to do a multiply special. Alt, E, S, that's paste special, and I'm going to choose multiply. So I'm multiplying all of these numbers by 1 million, and automatically it's changed those numbers to 1 million. I haven't got commas in here, so I'm going to make a slight adjustment to try to put in commas. So I click that comma style, but it's now got decimals. I don't want all those decimals, so I'll get rid of those decimals. I'm going to apply that style with Format Painter to the cells above. Job done. Now that is also missing borders. Alt H, BA. I no longer need this 1 million over here. It just saved me a wee job of typing in extra zeros that I didn't need to, given that this infographic shows number of kills in 1.7, 2.5, those sorts of numbers. Interesting things that I can do. I'm going to work out how long they reigned for. I'm going to right click and choose Insert. By doing it here, this column has been given an auto filter and it's also been given borders. So I'm going to find the difference between the end date and the start date. So I'm going to type equals, this is a formula, and I can either click 1975 or just push left and it's going to go to the cell to the left. I'm going to subtract the start date, and that's 9 years. So I'm going to give that column a heading. Duration of reign. This formula I can drag down. So I can either drag down like that, or if I hold down Control Shift and double click, that'll fill down. That's a very good option if your data goes down for many, many rows. Some other things that I can do, and if I insert here again, then this part remains part of my table. I'm going to do a rank. Seems a pretty morbid thing to do, but if I want to work out rank, R-A-N-K, I'm going to rank these guys here. Rank that number out of I can see that I've used the wrong one. I want 0. So we can see that Yakubu Gowon from Nigeria, he killed 1.1 million people, so he ranks 10th. So we click on that cell, we can see it's the referencing the number out of that area. If I click partway down, you'll notice that the red rectangle has remained locked in place. That's what I did with the dollar signs. It's called an absolute reference. Some other things that I can do is apply conditional formatting with color scales. So I can use shortcut keys if I want to. Alt, H for home, L for conditional formatting, and then you can use the down arrows if you wish to, or S for scales, and then you can use the arrows to go and pick various different color scales. I would personally choose red in this case because it shows deaths as all being bad rather than green light being, a good number. So I'm going to choose red for the highest and then push enter, and you'll notice that it has automatically scaled those colors. I'd like these ones here to show a little bit more red. It's just that Mao Zedong killed so many more people. So I'm going to highlight that, click conditional formatting and choose manage rules. This is the rule that's been applied, and if I edit it, I can look at the color scale. So it's going from white to pink. So if I change that, go more colors, try and get a little bit of color there. So we can see it's going from pink to, let's go with bright red, and then apply. We can see light pink right up to bright red. And to me that shows a varying number of kills. We can do a similar thing for duration of reign, who served the longest amount of time. Color scales. Here we go. We could do rank as well with color scales if we want to. And we could have that, and we could probably do some other kind of statistic if you were going to rank them in terms of kills per year. Kills per year in charge equals kills divided by duration of reign. Rank over here, total kills. Rank kills per year. Let's rank that number out of that area. Now, when I did that, I would push left, Control Shift down, and that grabbed all of H2 to H11. If I push F4, that's going to put in the dollar signs instantly. I go comma and 0. There's some funny number formatting going on here. I don't want all those decimals. So we can see Mao Zedong rates number 1 for the total number of kills, and also number 1 for the highest number of kills per year. But if we look at Tojo of Japan, he ranks number 2 from kills per year, although he's 5th in total number of kills. Good thing he didn't serve for too much longer. So if these were salesmen, you could use this in terms of ranking to see who's your best salesman. Unfortunately, we're not dealing with money, we're dealing with people's lives. So if we want to now, we can do some graphing. We could take the person, highlight that, hold down Control, and we could have kills. And then we can insert different charts. We could choose recommended charts. We could go straight for the one we want. So let's go with recommended charts. And you'll notice a nice histogram pops up. And we can go OK. Now this graph, we need to make some modifications. So this is total number of kills. And we can see our graph, a slightly less bloody version of this. Some other graphs that we might choose to do might be taking their name, and we might hold down Control and take duration of reign. Insert recommended charts and choose that one there. Take this graph and move it down here. Now you'll notice I made a wee mistake. First graph I took surnames, the second graph I took first names. That's not so useful. So if I click this graph, double click it, you'll come back to this part and see where I highlighted. I can grab this purple rectangle, move it over to their surnames and drop it. It will make an instant change, and you'll see it makes it a little bit more comparable. I can make the width slightly different so that they all line up. I can either do that from the outside of the graph, or I can do that from the chart area and dropping that down.